Get ready to buckle up, because the Final Destination franchise is back in action. The new chapter, Final Destination Bloodlines, promises to bring even more inventive horrors, with everyday items turning into lethal threats and fate twisting in ways we can barely imagine. Fans have been waiting over a decade for another wild ride, and this trailer seems determined to remind us why the series became so iconic in the first place. It all starts with a quick look at the chilling nature of these movies. The trailer opens on a seemingly normal gathering, bright sunshine and laughter all around. But if you've ever seen a Final Destination film, you know that a cheerful atmosphere never lasts. The camera glides over a backyard party, pointing out innocent details that spark a sense of dread, like a lawnmower carelessly placed by the fence or a loose shard of glass on a table. These details may look harmless at first, but we soon see that they could lead to a nasty accident in the blink of an eye. Before long, the trailer makes it clear that death is once again taking its relentless revenge. We meet Stephanie, a college student returning home after a disturbing vision. She believes her family is in danger, stalked by an invisible force that refuses to let them live. The trailer paints her as determined and scared at the same time, trying desperately to warn her loved ones that their peaceful days won't last. But as usual in this franchise, not everyone is ready to listen. Stephanie's grandmother, named Iris, may hold the key to everything. We learn that Iris had a premonition years ago, one that saved multiple people from a tragic accident. Unfortunately, that rescue disrupted the natural order. Now death demands balance. Every person who was spared is living on borrowed time, and it's coming back to fix the mistake. The trailer suggests that Iris has been hiding details about this event for decades, perhaps in a book filled with notes on the past. These notes document earlier incidents, including some that fans will recognize from previous Final Destination movies. If you look closely, you might spot references to the iconic plane crash from the very first installment, as well as the logging truck disaster from the second movie. Seeing these nods to earlier entries in the franchise hints that Bloodlines is designed to connect past and present. While the story is partly about Stephanie's present crisis, it also explains how death's twisted sense of justice began. The mention of older disasters links all of the earlier films, suggesting that this series has a deeper mythology than we realized. The trailer makes it look like we'll finally learn why these deaths keep happening, and whether there's any sure way to stop the chain reaction for good. As the footage continues, we get a glimpse of another shocking turn. Tony Todd returns as William Bludworth, the ominous figure who always seems to know more than he lets on. For fans, his presence is the strongest sign that death's dark design is in full swing. The trailer teases him stepping out of the shadows to offer cryptic advice, cautioning Stephanie about how you can't cheat death forever. It is a welcome return, and a reminder that Todd, who passed away, left behind one final performance that might serve as the perfect farewell. Just when we think we understand what's happening, the trailer unveils the horrifying kills that the Final Destination name is known for. Objects become lethal in an instant. A broken piano wire tension snaps in one scene. A tiny piece of shattered glass threatens unsuspecting partygoers in another. Meanwhile, the trailer also shows a glimpse of a huge piece of farm equipment in the background, hinting that it might be the cause of a gruesome demise. This is classic Final Destination. You spend each scene nervously waiting for an everyday item to set off a chain of chaos that can't be stopped. The surprising part, if we can call it that, is how these movies turn normal events into worst-case scenarios. A relaxed conversation near a swimming pool might end with a slip and a terrifying electrocution. A family barbecue transforms into a horrifying final moment when a lawnmower flings a sharp metal piece at someone's head. The trailer celebrates these intricately staged disasters, showing just enough to make viewers squirm and then cutting away. Each glimpse reveals the potential for absolute mayhem, but we never see the full payoff. That's what draws fans in, trying to guess how these random hazards will combine into a catastrophic accident. If you look closely, you'll also notice that the trailer spends extra time focusing on a battered scrapbook in Iris's possession. This scrapbook connects the dots between older catastrophes and the new wave of terrifying events. The pages are stuffed with articles, sketches, and personal notes. One page features a plane with scribbled warnings about fuel lines. Another references a highway accident caused by timber logs. The trailer strongly implies that Iris's premonition decades ago is where death's modern rampage began. By interfering with fate, she unintentionally created a ripple effect that has haunted survivors ever since. Now Stephanie must unravel these secrets to protect her family from unstoppable doom. The family dynamic adds another layer of tension. Various relatives appear in the trailer, siblings, cousins, and in-laws, all trapped in this deadly net. Some scenes show them studying the scrapbook and debating how they can escape death's clutches. But no matter how they argue or plan, death is always one step ahead. That unstoppable dread makes Final Destination different from most horror series. There's no masked killer you can outsmart or a demon you can banish. It's simply the force of nature itself correcting a cosmic mistake. The trailer also highlights some grand set pieces. including a flashback to a massive disaster decades ago. We see a futuristic tower or expo building, where a younger Iris apparently saved countless people by dragging them off a dance floor moments before the structure collapsed. It looks like a breathtaking spectacle. Broken glass and steel beams crush everything, causing a wave of panic. This might rank among the biggest disasters in the franchise yet, given the scale on display in the trailer. If that event truly set the entire Final Destination timeline in motion, it could reframe everything that came before. Of course, the biggest question is whether Bloodlines will break new ground or simply rehash old thrills. The glimpses we've seen suggest a mix of both. We'll still get the unstoppable chain of accidents, the tension over who dies next, and that eerie sense that you cannot hide forever. However, the emphasis on a legacy backstory and references to older disasters hints at a deeper mythology. Perhaps this entry will add fresh layers to the Final Destination lore, showing how Death's plan originated and why it continues to target random groups of people. Critics might wonder if this prequel-sequel approach is just a gimmick. But the trailer's huge view count, well over 100 million in its first day, shows that people are definitely curious. Even if Bloodlines ends up repeating familiar beats, fans clearly want more. Horror lovers adore these elaborate death traps, and the promise of seeing how it all began is enough to generate major buzz. It helps that the trailer also features a fairly new cast, with Kaitlyn Santa Juana stepping up as a lead we can root for. She conveys real fear in the brief scenes we've seen, but also a spark of determination. Tony Todd's cameo in the final moments of the trailer ties everything together, reassuring longtime viewers that the legacy is intact. His cryptic message about accepting death suggests that maybe the only way to survive is to face the end head-on. That theme might guide the new characters through this terrifying journey. At the end of the trailer, we see a shot of Stephanie standing in the middle of a busy highway, a place that already haunts fans who remember the second film's notorious road crash. Metal scraps fly and engines roar. Just before the screen cuts to black, we catch one final glimpse of fear in Stephanie's eyes. Then the trailer leaves us with a taunting whisper that death is unstoppable. It's the perfect final note, guaranteeing that audiences will spend the next few months wondering who gets caught in the crossfire next. Final Destination Bloodlines is set to arrive on May 16, 2025, and it looks like it's shaping up to be a worthy addition to this beloved horror series. For newcomers, it offers a straightforward concept. If you cheat death, it will hunt you down. For longtime fans, it provides Easter eggs from previous films and a bigger backstory than ever. That blend of fresh faces and nostalgic references could make this installment one of the franchise's most successful entries yet. Who will survive? Who will meet a grisly fate? And will the timeline finally come full circle, revealing how Death's plan got started in the first place? These questions will keep us talking until the movie premieres. One thing is for sure, nobody does elaborate accidents like Final Destination, and Bloodlines plans to raise the bar on terrifying chain reactions. Thank you for hanging out with us for this trailer breakdown. If you're as excited about Final Destination Bloodlines as we are, stick around for more updates, theories, and horror news. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and check out our other videos for deep dives into upcoming releases and classic hits. We can't wait to see you again, and remember, watch your step, because death might just be lurking around the corner.